What's up guys, it's Mike with Shallow Reefing coming back at you with another video, and today I got a new hat. For my birthday, my wife got a hat from Bulk Reef Supply signed by Ryan and Randy. So I'd like to give a shout out to my wife and say thank you very much. I love the hat. Now the only problem is I don't really want to wear it because I don't want to ruin the signatures on here. So maybe it's just gonna be like for show, I'll hang it up somewhere. But I might need to get a new hat because I'm kind of liking this hat pretty well. So as we enter into 2022, that is crazy to me. I've had this tank over a year. Now that it's become stable, I want to do a couple things to fine tune everything. So what I'm going to do today is show you everything that I plan to do in 2022 to kind of, make this tank a little bit easier to maintain and to make it a little bit better. So let's see what I got in store. Oh baby, I got the Apogee. It is the Apogee SQ420X. Now I have it set up to my algae scraper and I cannot believe I got this. Shout out to my mother-in-law and father-in-law who bought it for me for Christmas. So this is gonna be an awesome video that I've been promising for months now, and I can finally do par testing whenever I want. I'm just super stoked to get this in the tank and show you guys just how accurate my par reading is. Now I'll be dosing Flatworm Stop and Coral Booster 3 times a week, so probably Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, as well as feeding Reef Roids and Reef Chili on Saturday with this as well. So it's supposed to be 1 liter or 1 milliliter, 1 milliliter for every 25 gallons. So that means I'm gonna be doing 8 milliliters 3 days a week with this. And then the other 4 days a week, I'm gonna be dosing Reef Energy Plus AB Plus, and this will be dosed 4 days a week. Now, this is a 5-liter jug, and I have to keep it in the outside fridge. So what I did was I put them in these little specimen cups that you get your corals in, and then this should last me an entire week. It's about 100 milliliters, and it does look like urine. I kind of keep it in the fridge, and my wife thinks it looks like pee, so she's kind of disgusted by it, so I have to hide it in the back. So we just go and hide this in the very back, where no one can see it. Right back there. Let's hide it. So with my water change, I have been using, mostly doing 10-gallon water changes every week. To every, 2 weeks, I do a 20-gallon water change. Nothing too crazy with that. But I did use Reef Crystals recently because, Brightwell was not running a sale or anything. So I probably had done 400 gallons of water changes with the Reef Crystals, but I'm gonna switch back to Brightwell. Notice that when I was using Reef Crystals, my bin is not as clean as it was with Brightwell, but we're going back to Brightwell because Brightwell was doing a sale, so I kind of stocked up on a lot of salt. So this should last me about a year because I'm only gonna be doing 20 gallons every 3 to 4 weeks, which should last me the entire year if I did my math right. So if I did the math, I have 450 gallons here in salt, and if I do a 20-gallon water change each time, that would be 22 and a half water changes. So if I spread that out over, there's 52 weeks in a year, so I could do every other week, or if I do every 3 weeks to 4 weeks, this would easily get me through a year and some change with just this Brightwell salt. I will also be adding A- and K plus from Tropic Marin to my 2-part dosing. Now I'm gonna start off with 80 milliliters of each. So this will go in like calcium, this will go in the alkalinity portion, and see where I'm going from there. Low demand tank is 80 milliliters. Right now I'm thinking it's still low demand because it's still within a year. You're supposed to, if I remember right, I think it's 16 months. Don't quote me on the 16 months. I think they said at 16 months, that's when, your water changes are probably not gonna be enough to keep up with the trace elements. I'm thinking it's 16 months. So since I'm closing in on a little bit more than a year, going on to 16 months, I think I'm gonna start dosing this and doing the 80 milliliters with a gallon of my 2-part mix from Bulk Reef. Now this should mix up to be this is about 6 gallons worth at the 500 milliliter mark. So this will be about 6 gallons of, calcium and alkalinity supplements. I'm pretty sure if I did the math right, it kind of evens out to about a year on my consumption rate. I'm doing about 750 milliliters a day on calcium and alkalinity. I know it's gonna start going up a little bit more. So I think this should last me a full year. Pretty much everything I bought at the bulk Reef Supply Black Friday sales and everything lasts me a whole year. Trust me, I spent a lot of money on it, so it should last me a whole year. Well, not this part, but definitely the coral booster and flatworm exit, geez. Now on to the tank. The main issue with the tank right now that I really want to improve on is that algae. Now I think it's because I took off my refugium because it was getting kind of messy down there, and the refugium was kind of uptaking all the nutrients and growing the hair algae in the sump as opposed to in the tank. So what I've done is I've added this gyre, and it is a cheap J-Bow SCP-150 gyre, and hopefully this will kind of kick up the sand bed and make everything a little bit cleaner. Now, I have been siphoning out the sand bed every time I'm doing a water change, which hasn't really helped me too much. I had tons of algae on the back glass, and you can kind of see I scraped a little bit of it off. Still kind of need to scrape a little bit more of it off, but overall the algae is slowly going away because I've increased the flow, dosed Vibrant, and I have turned the refugium back online. Now, one of the things I've really noticed is that some of my corals have just not looked very good since I took the refugium off and been going to reef crystals. Well, used reef crystals for a little bit too long. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm not sure if I had a bad batch, or if, you know, they didn't have enough minor and trace elements like the Brightwell did. But that's a Garf Bonsai, and it has not looked very good. You can't even really tell it's a Garf Bonsai. It kind of looks all the same as the other corals. And then this one down here was completely green. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it's not even green anymore. And that one in dead center, not even green. So we got to figure out how to get this back on track. And obviously this coral here is getting shaded, so I cut down the scripts, but you can kind of see it's kind of bleaching from underneath. The polyps aren't looking very good. I've kind of run out of ideas on what to do with that, but I'm pretty sure I need to get back into the trace element game, use a little bit better of a salt, and see how things work out from there. Eventually this tank is going to get where I want it, but just not right now. I might have to get some more Nacerius snails, and hopefully they'll turn over the sand bed. So my plan is to get some more cleanup crew members, turn over that sand bed, get some of that green out of here, and continue on feeding, because my nitrates were 0 when I tested with the Hannah high range checker, and my phosphates were 0.01. Yeah, I think it was 0.01. Yeah, maybe it was 0.03. Anyway, it was super low. So I need to kind of bring up all those nutrients and come somehow manage all this, you know, hair algae, this nuisance algae at the same time. I don't know. We'll see if I can do it. I'll let you guys know how successful I am. You'll be watching all my failures and successes. As far as the corals go, I do kind of want to get some more corals, maybe get a couple Micromusa lords over here. I don't know about any mushrooms. I'm really liking my Blastos though. My Dragon Soul's looking good. I'm thinking my Zoanthids could use a little bit more love. I'm definitely wanting to get, oops, let's not drop that in the tank. I'm definitely wanting to get a little bit more sticks. I mean, look at that Walt Disney. Holy cow, that thing is beautiful. It's just like marvel at it. This thing has just, I mean, it's just bulletproof. Every coral that have, like the corals I thought were hardier, like the Garf Bonsai or some like Joe the Coral or Digis, they just have kind of changed their color a little bit more than this Walt Disney. But this Walt Disney, I mean, you can kind of see the closer I get, the more vivid and bright it looks. Has just never lost any color, ever. I don't even know what coral that is. I have that coral. I have no idea, but it's beautiful. Got a blue one hidden there, strawberry shortcake. I kind of want to get a little bit more of a stick garden going at the top. I have a couple places to put more stick. Back in the right-hand corner, you know, not getting a lot of coloration over here. Good God, look at Maria. This fish is the most aggressive little girl ever. I hate her. But it's not a reef without a clownfish, right guys? I've kind of already done a little bit more aquascaping, moved some pieces around, you know, moved the toadstools in the back. I kind of want to do something with like ledges or rocks hanging off the wall. So that might be one of the things I do in the future. You know, I really want to get my hammers going, my frog spawn getting nice and fat and healthy. You know, just kind of growing corals out to monster sizes like I had done before. My Favia and Favite garden's looking good. You know, I just want my pieces to be as big as that Duncan like they used to be back in the day, because everything was looking gorgeous in my tank. I just had large showpiece corals. I kind of want to get back there, and that's one of the things I'm really hoping to do in 2022. I've actually had a lot more success with Ghanies than I thought I would, and I'm pretty happy with how they're, you know, turning out. Obviously, this guy hasn't done too well, the red one, for some reason, but the other two have done just gorgeous. They're just so great. You know, gotta love all that green algae on there. We'll see some before and after pictures. All right, guys, so that is the tank and my big changes that are gonna happen in 2022. Now, I really wanted to say, hey, I'm gonna get a frag tank plumbed in, or I'm gonna buy a new frag tank and see what's gonna happen with that, but you know, I don't know, it might happen, who knows? Maybe at the end of the year I can get it going on, but for 2022, that's not even on my radar right now. The main thing I wanna do for this tank is to make it as simple to take care of as possible and as stable as possible, because baby number 2 is coming, and with that baby number 2, my time is going to be cut probably in half. So I'm trying to find everything I can do to make this tank as easy as possible, set it on cruise control, and kind of just enjoy it. Now I have it in here in my office, my office as some people call it, but I mean, I do enjoy it a lot. I love sitting in here, and I love, you know, just kind of looking at the tank, and it's just brought me so much joy. Plus, I'm gonna be doing a lot more video editing in here, because I was hoping to film this on an iPhone, but I'm gonna have to wait. So it's still on the Samsung Galaxy S10e, but you should be on the lookout for a video quality tremendously improving with the new phone, with the new video editing software, and hopefully I can really capture how beautiful some of these corals are. Like that Walt Disney, I don't know if the camera did it justice, but it is just beautiful. So guys, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, click the subscribe button. Give me a like, give me a comment below. Let me know if you think this plan for 2022 is going to be, you know, the right path for the tank. Making it easier, adding some trace elements, doing monthly water changes as opposed to weekly or bi-weekly water changes. Just trying to set this thing on cruise control. And then maybe, you know, you can see if it was a good idea, and maybe you can see if this is a good thing you want to do for your tank. So guys, I will see you later. Thanks for your support, and I love you.